past couple of weeks as we approach the Ethereum merge. Stay tuned to learn more about this. This is Matt from Shoe Capital, where I talk about everything personal finance, investing, and business. Today's topic, we're going to look at specifically how our mining farm is performing. So what you see on the screen in front of you is a capture from the nicehash.com website. And on this site, this is where we're sending all our hash power, which is a giant marketplace where someone is buying this hash power and using it to go mine Ethereum. And in exchange for that, we're being paid out in Bitcoin, which is what we're really desiring to accumulate to build our crypto portfolio. So what you see on the screen first is the accepted hash rate at the pool from our mining rigs. So we have 3 mining rigs set up, and they each provide between 400 and 500 hash power. And as a result of that, the pool takes that and gives us credit at an accepted hash rate. So our expected hash rate's around 1440. You can see this is showing over the past week a bit less than that. That's due to some of the developer fees that are required to use the software. And mining itself is a random activity from the standpoint of you don't get the same hash power at all times. It depends on how well you're doing in providing solutions to the network. So as a part of that, you see that kind of up and down bar over time. We have a very low rejected rate, which means we have a really good connection to the pool, and we haven't overclocked our cards too far, so they're performing very consistently. So what you see on that line is that average around 1405 mega hash. If I take it down to a day, it's looking a little bit better over the day. You see a couple red blips in the bottom. Those are where we had some stale shares, and that just has to do with how quickly we can talk to the pools. A little bit of that is expected, and up to 1% is acceptable, but it was quite a bit less than that, so I'm pretty happy with that overall. And then those orange bars at the bottom that are building up, those are showing 4-hour chunks of time. And after each of those 4 hours, we're getting a payment in Bitcoin, which we'll go into a little more depth in a moment. So that gives you a sense of how our miners are actually performing as a whole. And then those color codes you see below give you more information about what the different colors mean. So if we go over here, let's go back to the 1-week time frame and switch it to an overall view. And this shows us more of the financial side of our mining. So basically we're making 161,677 Satoshis per day. So this is showing up every 24 hours. So we can break it down in a tighter view and see that by day. So you see that profitability fluctuating throughout the day, and this is based on the buy, sell, and orders against our hash power. And these orange bars are building up our work payments. And then when they go down, that's showing a payment being transferred from the marketplace over to our account. So when you scroll up a little bit, you'll see a little bit of information about how we're being received right now, how long we've been online overall, and then some projections. So it's saying our approximate weekly income in Bitcoin and US dollars based on today's prices. You see the monthly projections, close to 1,000 at this particular moment, and the annual projections just over 12,000. And just keep in mind that these US dollar amounts are all priced as of this very moment, with Bitcoin hovering around $19,900, $20,000, give or take. So while our Bitcoin payments that we're receiving will remain consistent, all else equal, the dollar value of that Bitcoin will fluctuate, and you'll see that change based on the underlying price of Bitcoin. So you see that just happening. So this is a mix of the actual profitability from minute to minute adjusts based on the buy sell orders on the NiceHash exchange, as well as the underlying price of Bitcoin itself. So that gives you an idea of what our annual performance is looking like. So we're seeing right now what our current real-time profitability is. It's somewhere around $33.89 in dollars. Our unpaid balance accumulations in the wallet over time. So that gives you a sense of how we're performing. When you tally this up over the course of a week, it gets you just over 1 million Satoshis. And just keep in mind that Satoshis, 100 million of them equate to one Bitcoin. So it's basically just like moving this decimal points to the right 8 places. And that's just to make it easier to talk about rather than referring to amounts in decimals. It's not actually changing anything about the value itself. It's just an easier way to talk about it so you can use whole numbers instead of fractions. But yeah, so just to give you one other breakout, below we have our earnings by day. So you can see over the past couple of days. So we're still mining for the current day. It's September 5th, 2022 currently. So you can see that total here in Satoshis and then a dollar equivalent. And then the rows below that, you see our performance. So we're averaging 31 and change per day over these last couple of days, somewhere around 158,000, 159,000 sats per day. And that varies from day to day based on the market dynamics, how many orders are in the mix. Sometimes we're a little higher in the 160s. I've seen it floated up to about 170,000 sats a day or so, but somewhere around that. So gets us to around 30 some dollars per day, depending on the price, 1,000 or so a month, and about 12,000 a year. That doesn't account for our electric costs, so that's definitely something to consider in this overall mix for net profitability, and that ranges somewhere around $11.50 to $12 a day, depending on our current rates. But overall, that gives you an idea of what our daily profitability looks like here on the mining farm at Shoe Capital. Hope this was helpful to you, and I'll talk a little bit more in the future about why I chose nicehash for our hash power versus direct pool mining and taking Ethereum directly. That's all for now, and please like and subscribe if this helped you. Thanks. Out here.